Hello my friends and welcome to another pick a card reading. I hope you're all doing amazingly well. It's really good to have you here and thank you for watching. Just want to say hello and welcome to all of my new subscribers. It's really great to have you here and thank you so much for choosing these readings to help guide you and basically back up your own discernment. These should only be confirmation, these readings, so I'm glad that they're resonating with you. With that being said, please do remember, as I said, that these are just general readings. If it doesn't resonate, just take what resonates, discard the rest. If it doesn't resonate at all, there's loads of amazing YouTube readers out there that you can listen to, so please do have a look at them and see what resonates with you. But also, thank you. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you coming along and exploring these intense subjects with me. So let's dive right in. So we've got pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. The question today is, what's stopping you from reaching your full potential? A really interesting question that's going to help you look at certain blocks. Now, these readings I think are going to be quite shadowy. There's going to be quite a lot of shadow work that's happening because the decks that I've chosen, they are quite shadowy. They're quite intense. And also mainly the 2 tarot decks that I'm using, the Tarot of the Holy Spectrum and also this tarot deck, which isn't necessarily a shadow deck, but I have another. These are my kind of designated shadow decks and they wanted to come out and play today. So just be aware, again, I will say it, just take what resonates, discard the rest. If it doesn't resonate with you, it's just some random reader on YouTube. Remember that. But anyway, with that being said, now I can crack on. 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1 is this beautiful pyrite. Pile 2 is this lovely polychrome jasper. And pile 3 is this stunning amber calcite. Okay, my loves. So, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Timestamps will be in the description box below, my friends. And I'll see you at your reading. Bye. Pile 1, hello and welcome to your reading. So, you chose this gorgeous piece of pyrite. Pyrite's heavy stone, iron pyrite it's called, but the way it is, it's kind of gotten this golden sheen to it, which is amazing, often known as fool's gold. But the difference between gold and this is that this is very hard and gold is very soft, it's very malleable. So you're carrying a lot, pile 1. You're carrying a lot. You are like, there's something heavy. And what's going on is that when I had this stone, I've got other pyrites that got given to me. But this particular pyrite, I can't remember who gave it to me, but I think it came, I don't know. Anyway, wherever it came from, I just remember that the sheen on it wasn't as glowy as some of the pyrite. If you can see some of the flashes of the pyrite, when pyrite is super flashy, like the cubes are just amazing, like, yeah, it sparkles like a dream. Whereas like this piece of pyrite, it's heavy, it's really heavy. Bear with me, I want to show you another piece of pyrite that I've got to compare. And I know that comparison is the thief of all joy, but I just want to show you the difference. Now, it's really interesting that I said that before I show you the other piece, because, you know, maybe there's a part of you that's comparing yourself to other things and to other people. I did try this reading last night and I didn't like what the readings were, and something ended up stopping me from, my camera stopped, ran out of battery. So I took that as a sign to like redo the set of readings. So what the energy is coming out is very different right now. The same energy of being worn down is the same. I do feel that, but I think it's because you're carrying too much. So this is a piece of pyrite. I mean, it's not that much shine here because it's been oxidized because I've had it, but that will give you an idea. When like you've got the blocks, they just shine with that gorgeous shine, and you've got it here. Like, this is obviously a very different piece, but I don't know, there's some kind of, it feels worn, like it feels worn, you know? And also there's a bit of like, sorry, my nails are ridiculous. Like, there's a bit of wax there. So I feel like people have not only put their stuff onto you, but they also have ended up like they've ended up putting stuff onto you, and also you've ended up taking on more stuff. Maybe you've been thinking that you needed to get more things in order to feel good about yourself, and then before you know it, you've ended up hoarding things. Okay, let's see what your card is. Wow, the giveaway. Okay, now it's really funny because I thought that this was the collector, but this is actually one of the other piles, but this is the giveaway. So, and I was thinking, oh, it's to do that, but actually this is it. So this card is about you being able to give away certain things, you being able to give away things only if you feel that that's right. And it's not just the things that we have, but it's also the things that we, like a smile is something that we can give away, but it isn't something that we are donating, you know what I mean? It's like, whereas like, you know, you give away your old clothes or your old belongings that don't really have much relevance or you don't need. But then if you give your time where you volunteer, that's something very different. In Vipassana, the meditation that I do, we call it dana, which is giving, which is a donation. But donation in the way that it comes from a space where it's not just money. Like they say you can give money. They say you can give money, but the most precious dana is actually of your time, when you are actively donating something of yourself. So I think that's really interesting. And also time you can't get back. So that's something to think about. What is it? And I'm not saying, this could also be giving you of yourself. So this could be like giving yourself the time you need. This doesn't have to be giving to other people. I think this is about you giving of yourself, you know? Okay, before I do the archetype cards, I'm going to do this. I'm going to roll the astrological dice. Pile 1. What is stopping pile 1 from reaching their full potential? Okay, so we have Jupiter. We have the second house. And we have Cancer. Okay, so you need to take care of yourself, I think. And also have a look at like how your home and your surroundings play an important part of you doing that. Like how do you make your space more encouraging or more kind of loving towards yourself, a space that is more nurturing towards yourself, and that will allow you to expand in a way that you haven't done so before. I think also that there's an aspect of you realizing how lucky you are without, without getting anything, and I think that will come from like nurturing yourself, from taking care of yourself. Yeah, so let's have a look at your archetype cards. Okay, so we've got The Don Juan. Okay, so we've got the shadow attribute because it came up reversed. Using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. The light attribute, which is where we want to strive towards, is spotlights your positive seductive qualities. Okay, so I mean... Okay, I think what's happening is that you get seduced by certain things. But I mean, this is Don Juan. It doesn't mean that you are indulgent. I feel like, well, Don Juans are indulgent. But maybe you're getting seduced by certain things. And then part of you like gets obsessed or like involved with something, and then you realize that you don't really want it anymore, and then you're left with kind of the baggage of what it is. Maybe that's happening. Just making sure that it's straight. Because sometimes it'll be the end of the reading when I'm changing it over, and then I'll be like, oh God, it looks really wonky. Okay, let's have a look at what the inside is saying. Internally, what is it that you might be hiding from yourself? To observe what it is that could be stopping you from reaching your fullest potential. Okay, fourth veil, intuition, inspiration, spirituality, and influence. I think that was reversed. So I'm going to take it reversed, and then we'll have a little look at the book. I don't know what exactly these veils are, to be honest. Let's just have a quick look. Okay, so this is... Veils is like one of the like suits in the deck, and this is the fourth one, and this one in particular, with it being reversed, it means about looking towards false senses of spirituality, false things that distract you in order to kind of make you feel a certain way, which I think really is quite in sync with what's going on here. There's a feeling of being seduced by certain things and not being satisfied with oneself, and making sure and basically chasing after the next thing. That's what I feel. So just be careful. Sorry about the shake there. Just making sure that you are... I don't know, I feel like there's an accumulation of stuff. This is what this kind of is showing me. There's an accumulation. And Cancers, they can be a little bit hoardy. You know, they can hoard stuff. So, or Cancer can be like, you know, they want to hold on. So, and I know they change their shell now and again, particularly like the other crabs, like the hermit crabs, but I think there's an element of that where you just need to be careful. Okay, and let me have a look at these other cards. You know what I get from this as well? I get two things. I also get that, see, I saw sandworms, and that's the sandworm. But me, I'm a June fan. So, like, I'm thinking of the big sandworms. And for me, that is about, like, the spice. And the spice is essentially something that creates this sense of intuition and divination and connection, but then it also symbolizes indulgence and destruction and obsession. So you've got this kind of dichotomy where you're trying to like look at both sides and you're trying to understand both sides. So just be careful, because that seems to be like, we'll see what happens with the tarot, but I feel like there's a bit of devil energy here where it's trying to lure you into a space. Then we have this big ass spider there. Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful, yeah, but I'm not a fan of spiders. Anyway, weave your reality. Oh my God, look at it. It looks really like scary, but it is beautiful. So what I'm getting from that is that there is a danger of you weaving yourself into a web of kind of, God, that spider's really, I don't like it. Oh, it's making me feel horrible. We kind of put ourselves into a situation where we feel comfortable. It's like that web of deceit, that web of kind of self-comfort. There's some kind of thing where you're weaving a web around yourself where maybe you're feeling complacent and you're like, oh, this is fine. It's all okay. But is it? Is it? Pile 1. I think if it was, you would not be at this reading. So yeah. Oh, that spider's really giving me the creeps. Let me just have a look at it. Okay, something interesting is coming up. So yesterday I did a journey with my journey group. We get together and we do journeys, and we've been doing so for a number of years, which I'm very happy to say. And it was really funny because one of my fellow journeyers said that they had spider come to them, which obviously is still an animal. It's still a power, or still a creature, so it still speaks to us within the shamanic realms. It has its messages. And she said that she felt very uncomfortable about what spider was doing. And I even while she was telling the journey of spider, I even myself felt a bit, icky listening to her and thinking, oh my God, like, you have to go through this stuff. But it's the idea of like, you control your reality, you control what you see, and even if situations are uncomfortable, there is a part of you that's kind of like made this your reality. Now I know that might trigger some people, so as I said, only take what resonates, discard the rest. But maybe there was a part of you that wanted this situation that you have now a long time ago, and now you're realizing that it doesn't make you as comfortable, and now you're realizing that you have to change, and that's uncomfortable. Maybe you invested time in something that you thought was actually fulfilling and it's not. Maybe there's an addiction to something. I'm really curious. If the devil comes up, then I'll be like, okay, but if it doesn't, this is all right. Oh, look. Oh, wow. And then we have the Six of Cups reversed. And this particular Six of Cups has fly agaric all over it, which is those toadstools, you see. They're not things that you could get addicted to, but they are like maybe states that could be addictive. That's so interesting. Okay, let's see. Let's see if it comes up in your reading. And you're going to see me shuffling these, so there's no like foul play involved. But there's something definite about indulgence. I mean, Don Juan, the giveaway. It's the rock, really, more than anything. So let's have a look. Let me stop talking. That spider's making me feel, it was making me feel uncomfortable. I'm starting to feel okay with it now. It's almost like you have to sit with it for a bit. But she was saying, my friend in the journey group, she was saying she felt uncomfortable. And I think that there's something about that sense of discomfort. Like, spiders don't look very fluffy and cuddly like a Labrador puppy. And there's a reason for that. What the reason is, I don't know. I haven't got that far yet. But, well, they serve a different purpose, don't they? Like a Labrador puppy doesn't weave webs and eat flies. For my pile ones, what is blocking my pile ones? What is stopping my pile ones from achieving and reaching their fullest potential, their full potential? What is stopping my pile ones from reaching their full potential? Okay, so we've got the I'm going to take note of these, but I'm not going to use them. So we've got the Tower, and then we've also got the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm just going to pop these over here, but I don't think, I'm not going to include, like, they're just kind of around. But let's have a look. Right, so we have the Eight of Swords. We have the Eight of Pentacles, so 2 eights. We have Justice. We have the Ace of Pentacles. And then we have the Three of Cups. Okay, I'm going to take these away now. Okay. So I think part of you believes that you've worked hard enough to deserve these indulgences. By all means, I think that this is important. I don't think that this is a bad thing. I think this is a good thing. A thing that's important to recognise about oneself. But what I will say is that it's almost like there's something that's missing. It's almost like you're missing a greater opportunity. That's really interesting. So Cancer is ruling the Three of Cups with Mercury. And then we also have Cancer here. So I think what's going on is that there is an indulgence in certain things. And I do think that this is a good thing. I think it's because you feel like you've worked hard and you've done what you have to do. And there's also a sense of release as well. Like you want to just kind of just do your own thing. You don't want to live by any boundaries. But I don't know. It's weird. It's like it's a block. Tell me more, please. Oh. Sorry, I'm just dropping all the cards. I don't know, I felt a bit strange just then. Felt a little bit like I was in some kind of dreamland. It was a bit weird there. Like I didn't feel like I was here in this reality. I felt like a bit like I was going somewhere else, and almost like I was being pulled somewhere else. Almost like fumes. Justice. Hey dear Spirit, what's blocking my pile ones? 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 What is blocking my pile ones? Look at the cards, they're just getting all messed up. Okay, right. So let me just put these straight. So I think you've been okay with like the time that things have taken. You don't really, like you're not really too bothered with how long things have taken. and you've realized that you really want to move towards something that's going to be tangible in terms of like a level of success. And I feel like you believe that your time will come. But there's still like some stuff that you need to learn about first before that happens. This is really interesting. It's not very clear. What is the blockage? What is the blockage? The only thing I can see really that is a blockage here is that is I don't know, I feel like you might be leaving yourself vulnerable by indulgence. That's the only thing I can see. Seems like everything else is all great, like it's all good. And another thing I can see, which is a bit complicated, but you know, let's try and simplify it. So you know, like when sometimes things go really well for you and you're thinking, okay, this is great. And then you get, that's it. And then you get kind of like complacent with how good things are. That's what I'm seeing. Because you've got the High Priestess and you've also got Don Juan as well. High Priestess reverse and Don Juan to me indicates, and please don't come for me, it indicates like quite slutty behaviour. It indicates somebody that will like sleep around. Somebody that will like just be squandering their energy in a way that is just kind of like almost in a way whoring their energy. I would go as far as that. The High Priestess is almost like the epitome of like chastity and keeping stuff like to yourself, and also, you know, just kind of being almost like a nun in a way. Whereas like if it's reversed, it's almost like you've decided that you're gonna let it all go, baby, and you're gonna you're gonna enjoy life. And it's really interesting. Okay, I'm getting it. So basically, I feel like there is a squandering of energy that's going on, and you may even be inviting people over to your house and letting people stay with you, letting people do things, letting people come over. But do you know what? It's a little bit like there's a little bit of a leechy behavior going on there. I think there may have been some aspect of you where you were quite successful, like you find that you're in a bit of money or something, and now you're willing to share it, which is the Ace of Cups. But what's going on here is that, I don't know, maybe you are compensating for something. You're compensating for the fact that, you know, you are not getting the things that you want via other ways, and they could be kind of like pleasures of people and friends and going out and having fun or whatever, and kind of distracting yourself in a way. And it's interesting because, you know, the pyrite is heavy. So it feels like, yes, you've got a lot to give and you're giving stuff away, but it's almost like every time you give this stuff away, because there seems to be like a deep sense of unhappiness within oneself, it's almost like every time you give something away, it gives away part of yourself. Does that make sense? So, and this isn't for everyone, because, you know, this is just how I view things shamanically, my own personal opinion. But, you know, if you sleep with a lot of people, like me personally, if I sleep with a lot of people, I find that my energy dissipates. I have to be really careful about that. You can do whatever you like, okay? Yeah, but when I was, you know, younger, and I tended to like go and explore a little bit more, what I didn't realize is that a part of myself was actually getting hooked onto these people. And it wasn't until like, I think it was within the last 5 years that I had an energetic healing. And then somebody said to me there were like fish hooks that were inside of me that were attached to all of these other energies that I'd connected with sexually. So that's a really interesting thing to look at. And that's how I feel that this is working out, because generally I can't see I can't see it that clearly. But these two, these three cards and this is kind of telling me that. And I mean, all of them are telling me that, to be honest with you. All of them are telling me that. It's just that this got a little bit confusing because you've got a lost opportunity, an unfulfilled potential, but then you've also got this Ace of Cups, which is all about this brimming of spirit, of spiritual and emotional wealth or opportunity. I also think that maybe some of you were in a past relationship or had past experiences with someone that didn't give you these things. So sometimes when we're in this situation where we didn't receive these things and we are living in this state of like hunger, famine, you know, for example, if you've been in a bad relationship and this person didn't let you go out or something, you know, they were quite controlling, then all of a sudden you're not with them anymore and now you can just go and do whatever you like. It's almost like that swing. That's what I feel is happening. Sorry, that was quite a long-winded way of me getting around to that point, but it's almost like it was hidden because it feels like it was a good opportunity. It feels like something good that's turned a little bit rotten. Does that make sense? Apology, oh my God, guilt, confession, forgiveness, Jesus. Okay, right. And then we've also got number 5 here. 23 equates to 5. We've also got number 4 here. And then we've got number 8 here. Did we have 8 here? Yeah, 8 of Pentacles and 8 of Swords. I think you've really got to forgive yourself, Pile 1. You have to forgive yourself of your past experiences. Whatever stuff has happened in the past, it's okay. And we all make mistakes. We all do things that we wish we didn't do. We all do things that we wish that weren't the way that they were. We all have regrets, okay? But you know what? It's not about what we regret, but it's about how we deal with the regret. And just remember that about yourself and be kind, be compassionate towards yourself, okay? And don't look for that compassion elsewhere. Find it within yourself. Find it within yourself. Stop giving it away. That compassion is for you. That compassion and forgiveness is for you. Okay, we've got 2 cards here, so I'll get 2. Trust the seasons, and then we've got the fertile void. Embrace change, cycles of life, transition and growth. And then we've got the fertile void, inner winter, rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings. I feel like you need to give this energy to yourself. I feel like you're not allowing yourself to have this energy. And you need to like allow yourself to have that energy. Because I'm telling you, if you don't care for yourself, no one is going to. Trust me. And unless you're a nurse and you care for people, you have to care for yourself. You really do. Because it's a reflection of who you are. And it shows other people how you would care for them if you take care of yourself, okay? So do that. God, that was a message to myself. Anyway, for those of you who know me and know my readings, you know that I resonate with Pile 1. So this is weird, but it's I can understand it. I can understand it. So for example, like if you're like buying a lot of things or consuming a lot of things, this is the same thing, like consumption. It's not just to do with sex. Okay, right, last card to close out the reading. I know that while I might not see it, everything is working in my favor. Wow. So in summary, Pile 1, what is blocking you from reaching your fullest potential? I think realizing that enough is enough. You know, when we overindulge in certain things, even though we have everything we need, it tends to put us in a place where we are comfortable, and that doesn't challenge us to grow and to evolve and to develop. And what I'm seeing here is that even though we didn't have the devil come up here, I'm seeing elements of comfort. I'm seeing things that show me that the situation is comfortable and it needs to change, because what's happening is that there's some kind of like overindulgence practices that are going on, and it's ending up bleeding, and then you're wondering why you're unhappy. Or why you're not feeling completely fulfilled. So I think that this is about you understanding that. And take it easy. It's a journey. It's just about learning, like, where you do indulge. What is making you heavy? I think that's the key component really here, the key question. And understanding that you have got so much like potential right now. Understanding that maybe right now in the northern hemisphere it's winter, so those times can also be indulgent, stodgy, and you know, cause you to want to just hoard or do whatever. So just be aware of that. But I think that's it for now. I hope that you found this reading useful. It was a complicated one, but we got there. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, have a wonderful morning, evening, night, or day, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And do remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 2, hello and welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful polychrome jasper. And the main thing about polychrome jasper is about bringing and fusing all elements together, making sure that everything is together, and making sure that the different parts of yourself are fusing together as one. I watched The Substance recently. I don't know if any of you have seen that film, which is pretty incredible. But the takeaway from it was that really understanding that you can't take away from something without having some kind of consequence with the other thing. So you can't take away something and not expect it to deplete in any way. And I think that that's really important. There's an idea that, you know, you really have to understand that everything makes up the whole. So there's an element of that here. So let's see what the card wants to say. So you've got number 11 and we've got the Council. So what I get from this is that there is a need for you to assemble your council, for you to get everybody together, to make sure that you value all of the parts of yourself. Now, in neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, in my coaching practice, we had a exercise where we would basically talk about our council. We would look at our council, and we would see our council as beings or people that we felt that we had good advice from, or we could take nuggets of information during the time of us living here. So for example, if we had, if we found that maybe somebody was inspiring, say somebody within history, for example, like Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu is the founder of Taoism, and if we find his information useful, he could be one of the people that we consult on our council. What would Lao Tzu say? Some people have Gandhi, some people have their relatives, maybe a grandfather or grandmother or somebody who's passed, a mother or father, somebody who would advise them and be with them. So this council would be made up of those kind of people, and it would be several types of people. And we usually would say that this is our circle of, not our circle of influence, but our circle of advisors. And that's what this council reminds me of. This also can consist of your spirit guides and also any kind of guides that come to you within the spiritual realms. Your power animals, your human guides, your earth guides, any extraterrestrial guides, anything that you kind of like feel come and advise you and help you in some way, angelic guides, they're all part of this. So there's something about you being able to listen to what they have to say in order to like make sure that you're encompassing everything about yourself and making sure that you're acknowledging all parts of the whole. Okay, so before we continue, I want to roll the astrological dice. So what is stopping my pile 2s from reaching their full potential? So we have 11th house, and then we have Aries. So 11th house, Aries, and Saturn. Okay. Okay, only take this if this resonates. This is what this first part of the reading is about. If it resonates, it resonates, and it's your reading. If it doesn't, then it's not. But what I'm sensing here is there may be an issue here where you've been impulsive with people in your community or around you. So it could be friends or specifically people around you. Like, it's not really lovers or anything like that, or partners or wives or husbands or girlfriends and boyfriends or significant others. It's more about community. So I don't know if like maybe the people that you've been entrusting or you've been like trusting and been thinking, yeah, they've got my best interest at heart. Actually, you're finding out that they have ulterior motives here. And there's some hard lessons to be learned, because I don't know if you've had some kind of impulsive thoughts about them and you've been thinking, okay, I can trust these people. Like, you know, when it's like, oh my God, these people are so amazing. And yeah, I really like get on with them. And oh yeah, they're like my best friend, you know, oh, we have so much in common, blah, blah, blah. And then before you know it, you realize that actually they don't have your best interests at heart, and you're starting to understand them a bit better and understanding what their motives are. There's a really interesting thing I saw in some dating channels. I don't know where I heard it from. I don't know if it was like Matthew Hussey or something, but I can't remember where it was. But it takes 3 months to really see someone for who they are. 3 months at least. So, you know, for you to get involved in any way, be that romantically, platonically, you know, for you to get involved, you have to wait that amount of time. And there was an impulsive nature here in terms of going forward. And I mean, I'm not going to lie, like I think some of those connections were good and they may have served you at the time, but it seems like they've come with some lessons. So that seems to be coming up. Let's see what these cards have to say. What is stopping my pile 2 from reaching their fullest potential? What is stopping my pile 2 from reaching their full potential? What is stopping my pile 2 from reaching their full potential? Damsel. Light attributes is understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself, and shadow attributes waiting for a knight to provide for you seduction by romantic illusion. This is upright, so I think that this is how others are seeing you. I think this is how, like, they're seeing you as someone who does rely on themselves. I think maybe they're, like, super inspired by you. Okay, so we've got the 7th shadow, so that's like one of the suits. The 7th shadow, the puppet, manipulation, free will, the spotlight. Okay, interesting. Interesting. That's really interesting. This is such a cool picture. Wow. I mean, this card would tie in with this 11th house, but I think it was reversed. I think this card was reversed. So let me just double check what that means reversed. It's like tarot, this deck. But yeah, it's got its own kind of kind of stuff there. Seventh shadow. So where's the shadows? So like this artist has created her own, pretty much her own tarot, and we use them as oracle cards. So the reverse meaning is external influence, conformity, assimilation, the battle over what we want, the sovereignty of our own action, questioning things never questioned before, new authority over the mind and thought. So then what's the upright meaning? That's weird. Control and sovereignty, external influence and internal agency. External influence, conformity, assimilation. Okay, so what I'm getting from this, because that explanation is really confusing, I think you're stepping out of that. I think like maybe you've been previously subject to being controlled by other people and other things, and now you're realizing that actually you have to start again, and you have to look at what are the choices that you've made in terms of the people that you've had around you. That's what I'm sensing, because I think there's I don't know, I feel like there's emotional vampires around you. I feel like there's people around you that are feeding on you, and they're pulling you apart. So there's a need to come back to the whole. There's a need to come back. And I can feel that there are some parts of you that split about these people. Maybe you don't want to believe that about these people. Maybe you want to think that these people are, you know, that they're not like that. And I'll be honest with you, like, I don't think people are inherently bad. It's just that they behave in not ways that are conducive for other people around them. So just keep that in mind. Wow, name the thing. Look at that little weedy. So cute. What does that mean? Name the thing. The thing. The thing. What is the thing? What be the thing? Because I mean, I could say that in various different ways. I could interpret that in a very different way. Maybe I'll be right, but I don't know. I think I need to look at it. So what have you been avoiding? So there we go. That's what I was saying. Confront it. Yeah, because once you like look at something and approach something, you can really tackle it. It doesn't mean that you need to be confrontational, though. I'm going to just say that. You can say it in your mind. You can do it for yourself. You can look at it and think, okay, and that just went out. You can kind of you can recognize that this thing is an issue. The other person doesn't need to know that. They don't need to realize that, or they don't need to know that you've kind of, you know, that you maybe are stepping away. Interesting. Let's have a look at the tarot. Yeah, they don't need to know that. Doesn't mean you're being dishonest, doesn't mean anything. Just means that you're being true to yourself. My pile twos. What is stopping them from reaching their fullest potential? So it looks like it's the company that you keep. And you need to make sure that those people are looking out for you. They have your best interest at heart rather than the other way around. Well, I don't know, like, it feels like you do have your best interest at heart. Like, you do have their best interest at heart, but they may not have your best interest at heart, you know what I mean? Quite heavy, this reading. The Emperor, the Eight of Swords reversed, the Lovers, And the 8 of Wands. Okay, so we've got, is that 2 8s? Okay. I think you might be worried that you're not going to meet people. But it's almost like you're in the process of choosing yourself. I feel like pile 2, you're in the process of doing it. You've got 2 major arcana here. We do also have some sorrow at you leaving a situation behind. You might have had to exit the situation quite quickly. I would also be cautious of believing some people's advice about doing something as well. I'd be just watching out if, you know, yeah. And things aren't always what they seem. Now when I see the Lovers card, particularly with this Adam and Eve scenario, now I just think like, why? There's this thing I saw on Instagram that like, why does Adam have the Adam's apple if it was Eve that ate the apple? Just saying. So I don't know, it's almost like what we've been told, even though the evidence points to the contrary, that this is the narrative that we've been given, and somehow we've ended up embracing this, you know. I don't know, I just think it's interesting. I don't know historically like what one would say, because I haven't read the Bible, so I don't know, but I just think that's really funny. Why do men have the Adam's apple if it was Eve that ate the apple? So I think, and also we've got damsel here. We've got this whole kind of advisory thing. We've got this manipulation and control. And I don't know, I feel like initially, I think you're recognizing that there was a sense of you allowing yourself to be controlled by this, but now you're in the process of kind of walking away from that situation. And as you're walking away from it, then you start to understand what it is that was actually involved, like what you had to do. Because I don't know, it could be to do with the fact that you've got some like father issues. It could be that. And I mean, I don't think that this was negative father issues. I think that this is just generally like maybe you had a controlling father. I think it was good though, in a way. Like I think that it's actually helped you to remember that you are in control of your own mind and your body, and yourself, and that you don't need to, you know, you don't need to like choose anything else. In fact, I think that the paternal influence could have been what got you out of this, you know, because it's all benevolently aspected. Yeah, because there's this idea of like standing up on your own. There's a lot of that here, strongly, particularly with this coming up bright. And then we've got the 8 of Swords as well, so reversed. So it's almost like you're breaking out of something that you like got tied into. I don't know, some of you may have this tendency to get swept up into groups as well. Tell me a bit more about this Emperor, please. Pile 2, please, dear Spirit. Okay, so we've got the 4 of Cups. Interesting. So it may have been advice that you chose not to listen to initially. You may have had that voice in your head and you thought, oh, fuck it, I'm going to just continue. Okay, we've got the 3 of Cups here and the 8 of Swords. Yeah, you're realizing that that's not the way that you want to be. That's so interesting. Two of Swords is covering the Lovers. The Devil is covering the 8 of Wands. And the Ace of Swords. Okay, so it's almost like you're just giving the silent treatment. You're not explaining anything. Yeah, you are literally walking away in a way. Or it could be that somebody's done it to you. It could be also, Pile 2, that you headed up like a group. You were like the kind of alpha person within a group. And you realise that people are not all that they seem. And I think also an element of you is realising that you may have moved into a situation too hastily because of your insecurity. And now you're needing to really recognise who's true to you. Because I don't know, it feels like there's some codependency as well within a situation. Interesting. Okay, let's have a look at some other cards. These readings are not clear at all. Curse, interesting. Hate, catastrophe, misfortune. Yeah, these cards haven't been clear. They're not easy reads, I'm not going to lie. But this is, it's shadow, this stuff. It's not clear. And that card tells me it's not clear. Could be a bit evil eye, you know, with that card. It could be that there were some people jealous of you and what you had. That would definitely resonate with the whole, if you were an alpha, if you were the kind of like head one of the group. And I mean, to be fair, this tells me that you were. We've got the Emperor there, that there. But actually, you know, you were being controlled by the group in a way. And there's this sense of like scrutiny. So that could also be like the eye, the evil eye. Yeah, you have to get away from people like that. And you have to make sure that you just kind of clean yourself a bit. And how do you do that? By going to places where you're feeling nourished. You're around beings and entities that you can trust. And take responsibility for your part, you know. It's not all because of destiny and other people. It's also because you made the choice to be around people like that. Codes of the seeds. The blueprint is within you. Take the next step. Okay, so I think that there's, you know, there's a choice here. We have the Lovers here, so there's a choice. You can either stay where you are, man. You can either stay where you are and decide that this is all right for you. And maybe you want to try again with these people. Maybe you want to like see whether or not these people, it could be like, you know, like maybe you're at school and you had a group where, you know, you were all together and stuff. And then you realize that maybe one of the party actually was having an affair with your husband or something, or your partner. Or one of the other, or they started up something without you and didn't tell you. And you're just like, oh wow. And then you realise how much you actually depended upon this group. Yeah. There's a scenario that's also coming up to mind is about how much we tolerate from others. Because, for example, like if you're in a group, a friendship group that have been there for a while, and you were going through a tough time, but they didn't take your side or they didn't show you the support, they just didn't say anything. They didn't decide to take any sides. That's also a bit tricksy. But yet you're still friends with them and now everything's okay and then now you're friends with them. Me personally, I don't think that you could trust people like that. And I don't know how you feel about that, but like I feel that I'd be constantly looking over my shoulder. I'd be constantly thinking about if something else was to happen, would I be able to trust these people? So that's something to think about as well. It's a difficult one. This one is difficult, just like pile one. It's difficult because, and that's why this is a big block. I knew these readings weren't going to be really easy. Oh yes, all you have to do is this. No, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. But we can make it easier, right? Hey, okay. So, woo. Look at that. I engage with others in ways that honor and respect them. Look at all the eyes as well. I engage with others in ways that honor and respect them. That's really interesting. Really, really interesting. So what are my closing thoughts on this about you? Because I feel like we need some closing thoughts. We have a lot of threes here. The threes are about engaging with others. Like, I mean, this is actually the four, but when the four is upright, that means the three is being prioritized and the four is like bog off. So, and it's covering the Emperor. So it means that we believe that our attitude is right. The Three of Pentacles reversed is covering the Eight of Swords. So I don't know, it's weird. It's like you're still partying with people and you're still having a social aspect with these people, but you know that you can't work with them, right? And you're choosing yourself, but there is still some kind of like hold this has on you. And I think this is an addiction to wanting some kind of result, or wanting to, or not feeling like you are enough, you know, because it's this particular devil which has it. You're not enough, you know, this thing, this kind of like obsessive kind of thinking. And then we've got the Ace of Swords covering the Five of Pentacles, Five of Cups, which says to me that even though there's been disappointment in the relationships, you still won't say anything about it. So there's something about your, like, I don't know, I feel like your trusted people around you are causing you to, there's some kind of split going on. And it's kind of almost destroying some sense of cohesiveness within yourself. So you need to be really, really mindful of that. I could be completely wrong about this, but like, I don't know, it's weird. And I don't know, it might be something generational. Interesting, we've got 40 and it's 4 as well. So it might be something generational. So maybe look towards like how your father or your paternal side was with their friendship groups, how they are within situations, within like social situations or situations that are to do with family. Maybe they behave a certain way. There may be some insight there. But I don't know, this is a bit of a complicated one. Take care. And that's where I'm going to leave it. I hope that this made some... Well, actually, before I continue, before I end the reading, the Code of the Seas, this is about breaking the curse. So you can break it. I hope you enjoyed this reading, my friends. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do share if you wish to. I always love to hear your comments. And also do press the bell notification icon on all so that you'll get to know all my readings. But otherwise, have a wonderful morning, evening, night, or day, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember, my loves, that honesty is always key. Bye. Amber Calcite, Pile 3, how are you doing? This has been a really challenging reading to do. God, I don't know what is going on, but like I think shadow readings need to be done at night and I'm doing this during the day. So maybe that's just a note to myself to make sure that I do these kind of readings about blockages and stuff like during the day. I'm sorry, not during the day, in the evening, because this has been so shadowy and it's just been very difficult for me to see. But I also think that these are issues that, you know, because shadow is so elusive, and also because these are massive blocks that I'm looking at, yeah, it's almost like you have to, there's work that's involved in terms of you looking at it. Now, when I picked up this stone last night to do the reading, which I couldn't do, it ended up not happening, so I'm redoing the reading. A piece fell off, and I think that's significant. But also what I will say is that this is such a beautiful stone. Like, it doesn't show you how beautiful this is. So I think that there's something being overlooked about the value that you bring to situations. Wow, the Gatherer. Okay, so the gatherer is 21. 21 equates to 2 plus 1, which equals to 3, which is the Empress. But then we also have the gatherer. Now, I would equate this as whatever's blocking you. Now, this is, I mean, it could be that there is a bit of hoarding that's going on. It could be that you're gathering information, gathering too many things, gathering too much that may almost be swamping you. Even though this is like a beautiful card, I do feel like she is, this person in this picture is quite like swamped by all these things, like all these pumpkins that are on her head and all these bits and pieces. So let's have a look at what the astrology dice wants to say. So we've got Aquarius, we've got the Sun, and then we've also got the 10th house. So I think that what is stopping you from reaching your fullest potential is having like is showing that you have a detached view to what is around you, when the opposite is true, because you have all this stuff. I think that's what it is. But let me just see about your other cards. Let me pull some cards and find out. Okay, so we've got Mother, and the shadow attributes, which is because it came up upside down, is smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. Wow. Okay. Interesting that Aquarius is green, this is green, this is green, like this kind of like mossy green. Let's keep going. Okay, this is 13, number 13, which is balance. And you can see like this peaceful scenario, and then you've got this kind of like oppression of the kind of like hellish world in a way. So end of conflict, celebration and hope. It's weird because like the card doesn't really depict that, but we'll go with it. Number 13. Bear with me while I just do a little bit of rearranging here. I need to let this settle because it's not clear. Have faith. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Dear Spirit, could you please tell me what is stopping my pile threes from reaching their full potential? What is stopping my pile threes from reaching their full potential? Pile threes. What is stopping my pile threes from reaching their full potential? Okay, so we've got the Four of Swords. Eight of Swords reversed. Eight of Swords reversed has come up for almost every deck. It's come up consistently, every pile. So there is a release that's going on here. It's a process of release that's happening, an awakening and a process of release. The Three of Swords. The Eight of Cups and the Empress. So I don't I think you're like searching for something, and I think that maybe, I mean, to be honest, like you've got the Mother card here, you've got the Empress upright, so that means that there is a good relationship with the Mother, but something's happening here, that there's something about that's what it is. I think maybe, you know, maybe your mother didn't allow you to do things, or maybe there's some kind of thing in your mind about how a mother should behave. I don't know. There just seems to be that there was something that wasn't kind of allowed. And that usually does result in like some like PTSD, kind of like traumatic kind of responsive behavior in the respect of, you know, like hoarding. But the balance is okay. And this is very childlike, so it's almost like, you know, a mother and a child, or like some kind of guardian and the child. So there's something about you being able to and there's this oppression energy as well, which is so interesting how we have the Empress upright. So I think, okay, this is why I can't see it clearly, because it's difficult. It's fucking difficult. Right, okay. Only take what resonates, discard the rest. This is pretty fucking deep. You know, when people become mothers, they do the best they can. Doesn't mean that they'll get it perfect. And there is no definition of a perfect mother. Nobody knows what that is. All we are just human beings that are just doing the best we can in this lifetime, or in this thing that we call life. So essentially, what's going on is that there is some negative behavioral patterns that are a response of some kind of like early trauma. I don't know, maybe you felt like you didn't belong, maybe you're feeling like you don't have things. I don't know what it could have been. It doesn't look to me like it's monetary, because there's no pentacles here, but it does look to me like it's a mental aspect. It does look to me like there's been like a lot of worry here. 4 of Swords going to the 3 of Swords, then we have walking away, then we have the Mother, and then we have walking away. I don't know, I think it might be that, you know, you're making a commitment to yourself to make sure that you don't behave in a certain way. And that's the process, really. And to be honest, I feel like it was quite a cold thing. I see what it is. I've got a feeling that maybe like you had parents, or particularly like a maternal influence, that presided in their job. They may not have really been like an emotional, there may not have been like an emotional connection there, because we don't have a lot of cups, we have a lot of swords here. So it's almost like trying to understand the logistics of a situation, but having to walk away from the fact that you're so hurt about it, you know? That's what that is. Because the gatherer would say to me bounty, and also the fact that we had this beautiful rock, which is stunning, but something fell off of it. So it's almost like the piece that fell off is almost like, you know, and then it was just kind of discarded. I mean, you know, I'm just thinking about my initial reaction, and then like what I do is then I pick it off, and then I pick it up, and then I put it into my plants so that it will nourish my plants. Any pieces of crystal that fall off, like say for example this piece and whatnot. But sometimes we can just throw it away, and kind of just, you know, think it's rubbish or whatever. And I think what happened was that there was some maintenance of balance that happened. I really do think that you had everything you needed. And I think this figure did everything they could as that person to give you what you needed. But I think that there was something missing, because there is anxiety here. And if you look at the picture, it's an eye, but it's also, you've got this like waves all over the place. So it's almost like I'm having to think my way out of like the storm of my emotions. And you know what happens when we do that? It's like that just can't happen. That's why there's this kind of oppression that's happening. That's why there's this kind of like, she doesn't look happy. She looks like she's kind of dogged down by everything. And there's an oppressive energy, I feel, here. A lot of oppression. You've got oppression in this card. You've got this kind of like, you know, that there's this big force that's kind of like helping this little child. Some of you may need to like think about doing some kind of soul retrieval work, maybe. That might be useful for you as well. It could also be that some of you are coming to terms with viewing your maternal caregiver in a way that you have never done before. So for example, like you might have to put your mum in a home or something, and you're having to deal with that and know that she was there and she gave you everything that you needed, but then there was also elements where she didn't do that and also was quite oppressive in some respects. So we've got the 10 of Wands that is clarifying the 4 of Swords. Yeah, I think this is a bit generational trauma. I think it's similar to pile 2, but that was the paternal side. We've got the 10 of Cups, which is clarifying the 4. 10 of Cups, oh, that's really sad. It's very painful, man. Very painful. And then we've got the 8 of Cups. And then we've got the Empress. And then we've got the 8 of Swords. So let's have a look. It's very painful. My heart is hurting. I'm telling you, these messages are so tough. Ace of Swords, yeah. Oh, look at that. 2 of Cups. And the 4 of Wands. There's a liberation, and it's so painful. Shit, man. I think I would go as far as to say, like, you're trying to find out, like, or that you have found out that, or you're in the process of understanding that certain things, you know, have been a cause or have been caused by, you know, either... It looks like the maternal side. I can't really see much male energy here. I can see more maternal. We've got the Empress and the Mother here, so this is to do with the Mother. I think even some of you like really wanted a relationship with her, and you may have had that relationship, but there was just still some things, or it was very good. I don't see a death, but I see some kind of like, there's something you're leaving behind. And you can't talk about it. Like, it's like you can't, like, I don't know. So I don't know if this person is like, it may be that it might be some mother is in hospital or something like that, you know, like dementia or something like that. And you're having to come to terms with what, like, that your mother isn't your mother anymore, or that they are your mother. But it's like trying to understand that, you know, and in that process you're having to almost like reparent yourself. I don't know, it feels like this situation is bringing up a lot of stuff. Like a lot of unfulfilled, you know, a lot of understandings about why things didn't work out the way that they did. So, for example, if you wish that you had like a whole really happy family situation, and now you're starting to understand why it didn't work out that way. This is a tough message, so take what you will, only take what resonates. If it doesn't resonate, please forget it. And please just, you know, remember this is just some random reading on YouTube. But it's painful, because this is a burden. This is unhappiness. This is like not being able to talk about it. This is commitment to someone or something, and then this is happiness. So it's almost like in a way you've had to choose yourself in order to like really be happy. You can't take on the burden of taking on this person. And the reason why I'm thinking it's a mother is because we've got these maternal kind of things going on. I don't see the mother as being like a bad character, but I just feel that this is someone that hasn't been very giving to you. The Aquarius 10th house sun, that says to me that this is someone that may have been very, very good and very community focused within their career, but emotionality is like not very much. Oh wow, one of the other piles got that card. Look at that. Look at how thick that deck is. Number 8. I'll tell you something really personal, pile. Shall I tell you something really personal? Yeah, why not? Can I? Okay. So when I also work in mediumship as well, so I can talk to people who've passed on. It's also part of the shamanic work that I do. And when my mum passed, all I heard was sorry. That's all I ever hear her say. And she's consistently saying it, like she doesn't stop saying it. And as time goes on, I'm realizing why she's saying it. You know, I understand. So, I don't know. There's something about some real apology going on. There's something about saying that, you know, we're sorry about what's going on right now, and we understand the choices that you're having to make right now, and we love you for it, no matter what. We are with you, and we love you. And this maternal character loves you too. This maternal person, this mum, maternal caregiver, they love you too, and they're very sorry about what they've done. They're not asking you for your forgiveness. That's another thing as well. Like the apology, like even though it says forgiveness there, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that they know that you can forgive. And remember, forgiveness is about yourself. And this is what these 2 cards signify. This is really, really deep. I'm getting quite emotional. It's about you choosing yourself so that you're able to embrace freedom. Jesus, this is quite deep. The Mystic Rose, compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. It looks like the Mother Mary as well, you know. God, you know, as I said, like, we're just doing the best we can in the time that we have. Part 3. This person, whoever it is, they love you so much. They really do. They love you deeply. They love you deeply. And they're sorry that you have to go through this. They're sorry that this is what's happening. And they will do everything they can to give you what you need in this lifetime and to protect you and to help you. Okay? Okay, right. Wow. I can create and maintain boundaries without losing love. This is so powerful. Pile 3. This is a tale of I love you, but I can't be with you. I love you, but I need to choose myself. I'll always love you, but I need to put me first because it's hurting me. Such a tough message. I'm an absolute mess right now, so I'm going to go and sort myself out, and I'm going to end your reading there. I hope that this was useful. I hope that this provides only confirmation of the stuff that you already know. And I just want to tell you that I love you very much, and thank you so much for allowing me to look at this for you. Please do like this video if you liked it. Please do subscribe for more videos and hit the bell icon with the all on it so that you get notified of when I upload. But otherwise, my darlings, have a wonderful morning, evening, night or day whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye.